LA Knight's strike timing in that closing sequence is exactly why WWE keeps trusting him in these hybrid celebrity matches. Because when the work rate inevitably dips due to inexperience, you need a ring general who can recalibrate the tempo on the fly. And that's where this WrestleMania 42 opener quietly over-delivered. What we got here wasn't just an influencer cameo match thrown together for social metrics. Structurally, it followed a very deliberate layout: hot babyface shine, early disruption, heel, heat, welcome back wrestling news, WWE segment anchored by experienced workers, and a payoff designed to protect the celebrity while still giving the crowd a clean finish. From a booking logic standpoint, that's textbook, but the interesting variable was IShowSpeed and how he fit into that machine. Now I'll be blunt, Speed isn't trained, and you could see that in his footwork immediately. His base was inconsistent, especially during the early chain exchanges, and there were moments where his spacing on transition spots looked half a beat off. But here's the thing, none of that actually hurt the match because he compensated with raw energy and crowd connection, which in WS ecosystem is often more valuable than crisp execution. The opening stretch told you everything about his role. He comes in hot, exaggerated movement, over-celebrates classic rookie babyface trope, and that's intentional. That over-celebration spot wasn't just character work, it was a setup for the heel control segment. When LAK Knight chases him off and Logan Paul steps in as the legal man, the match pivots into a more controlled tempo. That's where the professionals take over. Logan Paul, for all the criticism he gets, continues to show elite-level adaptability in these scenarios. His selling during Jimmy Uso's offense was tight, good snap on the bumps, clean feeding into strikes, and he understood exactly how long to stay on defense before flipping momentum. That's ring IQ you don't teach quickly. Then you bring in Austin Theory with the blind tag, and suddenly the heat segment stabilizes. Theory is one of those guys who thrives in structured heel control, methodical offense, clean transitions, and he knows how to stretch the moment without killing the crowd. This is where Speed smartly fades into the background, which is the correct call. You don't expose the least experienced worker during the most technically demanding portion of the match. Now let's talk about the key moment, the hesitation spot. Speed being forced to strike LA Knight is classic internal conflict booking. It's simple, but it works because the audience immediately understands the stakes. His hesitation wasn't just character-driven, it also conveniently masks his inexperience. By delaying the action, he buys time, resets positioning, and allows Knight to take control of the sequence. That's smart agenting behind the scenes, and Knight capitalizes perfectly. The BFT on Theory was crisp, well-timed, and most importantly protected everyone involved. Speed doesn't have to execute anything complex. Theory takes the loss without damage to his long-term positioning, and the baby faces get a clean pop to open WrestleMania. That's efficient storytelling, but the real evaluation of Speed comes post-match, because this is where things could have gone off the rails and instead it became the highlight. Logan Paul snapping and punching Speed adds a layer of realism. It's not just heel heat, it's narrative continuity. Paul's character is obsessed with spotlight control, so Speed ruining his WrestleMania moment fits perfectly within kayfabe. The announced table setup, predictable but effective. The crowd knows what's coming and anticipation is half the battle. Now here's where I was actually impressed. Speed's splash from the top rope to the outside. Was it technically perfect? No. His body alignment wasn't textbook and the landing had a bit of chaos to it, but visually it hit. And in WWE, especially at WrestleMania, visual impact outweighs mechanical precision 9 times out of 10. The Usos stepping in with the 1D before that spot was critical. That move grounds the sequence. It gives the audience a familiar high-impact moment before the chaos of Speed's dive. It also protects Logan Paul because he takes a controlled finisher before the unpredictable element comes into play. From a production standpoint, this entire closing stretch was designed to maximize crowd pop while minimizing risk. And it worked, doso. But where does that leave Speed? If we're grading strictly on in-ring fundamentals, he's obviously not at the level of even a developmental talent. His timing, positioning, and strike mechanics all need work, but that's not why he's there. He's there for engagement metrics, crossover appeal, and crowd energy, and in those categories he delivered. The crowd stayed with him the entire time, they reacted to his offense, they bought into his hesitation, and they exploded for his dive. That's not something you can fake, and it's not something every celebrity manages to achieve. We've seen plenty of high-profile names walk into WWE and get lukewarm reactions because they don't understand packing or crowd psychology. Speed, intentionally or not, tapped into that rhythm. Now the bigger question, should WWE bring him back? From a business perspective, it's an easy yes. His presence expands WWE's reach into a younger digital-first audience. From a creative standpoint, though, it depends on how they use him. If he's limited to controlled tag matches with experienced workers guiding the structure, guys like LA Knight, the Usos, or even someone like The Miz, then you can hide his weaknesses and amplify his strengths. That's the Logan Paul blueprint, and it's proven to work. But if they try to push him into longer singles matches or more complex sequences too quickly, the cracks will show. There's a difference between a well-produced WrestleMania cameo and sustained in-ring performance. What I do, and this is where long-term booking comes into play, is integrate him into a recurring celebrity rivalry, likely with Logan Paul. There's already built-in heat from this segment, and you can stretch that into a multi-event storyline. Keep the matches short, keep the spots high impact, and let the professionals handle the heavy lifting. You could even structure a 3-month arc leading into the next premium live event cycle, tag match at the next show, escalating to a gimmick match, maybe a no disqualification setup where chaos, expected, and technical precision isn't required. That's how you protect both the product and the performer. Bottom line, IShowSpeed exceeded expectations, not because he suddenly looked like a polished worker, but because he understood or was guided to understand his role within the match structure. He brought energy, he hit his key moments, and he didn't derail the packing. Do I in a WrestleMania opener designed to blend spectacle with storytelling? That's exactly what was needed.